I am currently in the Faroe Islands, a small Atlantic nation.
So, I was in the Faroe Islands, a small nation in the middle of the North Atlantic, with unbelievable landscapes, around 1 billion birds, a really quite unique culture thanks to its history and remoteness, and last but not least, a lot of sheeps. Quite understandably, given the location 62 north, the geography and climate of the region, the Faroese people developed over the centuries a culture, economy and later an industry largely based on animal consumption and use, in particular through sheep herding and of course fishing, which is still today vastly dominating the Faroese economy.
So non-surprisingly, the Faroese are using a lot of animal products in their craft. For example, this beanie here that I'm wearing right now was handcrafted here in the Faroe Islands with this wool, with the hair from those sheep that are running around everywhere.
And I can hear you think, didn't you talk about vegan wool, Etienne? How can wool even be vegan? Is it not taken on an animal for human use in the first place?
Well, that's the thing. They have a lot of sheep. There are sheep everywhere.
And when I'm saying everywhere, it is everywhere. And sheep walking around freely will tend to lose some of their wool in the grass, which if not taken by the wind, is possible to catch.
It's a fairly simple project. You go on some hikes in beautiful places, and every time you see some wool on the ground, and you pick it up. As simple as that.
Picking up wool this way, we obviously encounter a wide range of different types of hair in terms of color, length, or even quality. And piece by piece, it will accumulate, especially after the occasional bigger catch.
This will have to be clean again, but it seems a little bit more presentable, doesn't it?
Coincidentally, from what I've heard, taking this wool off the ground also has a positive impact on the wildlife here, since birds getting trapped in it could have troubles getting it off and therefore get injured. So now we have a lot of wool. We'll have to clean it and learn how to process it into yarn before we can do anything with it. But first, let's see how much we have. After a very precise and scientific weighing session, I can now certify that our wool comes from Calsoy for 8.7%, Nolsoy for 37.9%, Celluroy for 23.9%, Mykines for 17.6%, Tremoy for 11.2%, with the remaining 0.8% coming from the capital city Tórshavn, for a grand total of 392 grams of wool. Now let's clean it. After cleaning and drying the raw wool, we will have to separate the hair from each other, to separate the fibers, and align them again by combing them together. Since we didn't have any spinning wheel to make the thread, we constructed this primitive tool called a drop spindle, consisting of a stick, a weight, and a hook. The goal is to spin the fibers together so that they are sticking together and not sliding apart. So you spin, you spin, you spin, and here they are part of a thread which doesn't slide apart, and you continue up and you spin a little bit more of the thread and you have a longer one which you're going to put together with the rest of your thread, and you continue and you repeat 1,000 times. Once we were done with the thread, there was a couple of extra steps necessary to fixate the spin and make it into proper yarn. Namely, to put it to soak into hot water, dry it, and then smash it on the ground before you dry it completely. And I know that with the magic of editing it looks easy, but it actually took us several months to complete. But now we have some yarn, so let's learn how to knit. Actually, I was the one having to learn, as I'm sure my knitting skills in this video will demonstrate. So now we have a scarf. It is a little bit short and the hair quality is varying from part to part, obviously, but it is 100% homemade and just in time for winter. See you, take care.